Hey y'all, Rick Sky here, and like always, I appreciate y'all's feedback. A lot of y'all have been, your feedback and your viewership rather, a lot of y'all have been big time fans since the Phantom 1 days and maybe even before that, and I really appreciate it. And I just wanted to provide some closing remarks after my first day in the field with the Mavic Air. Now, if you've watched my videos in the past, you're probably aware that I tell it how it is. I mean, I don't have a script. I'm not overly editing these videos, etc. I'm just telling you what I experienced, and I'm going to tell you the good and the bad. So, for starters, this has impressed me. The Mavic Air has impressed me. I went into the field, and obviously I never want to have any sort of expectation, whether it be positive or negative. I want to go into the field with, with zero expectations, rather, and just see what happens. But a few things that I learned, the firmware, it's probably because this was just released. And the firmware, there were a lot of updates, and even though I updated the night before in the studio, when I went out into the field, there were additional updates, additional firmware updates. So fortunately, I was in an area where cellular reception was available, and I've got a data plan that's unlimited, so I was able to download those firmware updates from the field. My biggest gripe so far, and this is actually something that I hinted before entering the field, and I said I would test while in the field, this door on the back, the door that you have to access to get to the micro SD card and the USB-C port. It's hard. I mean, you gotta. It's a hard plastic. It's not a rubbery plastic. They should have made this out of a rubbery plastic or rubber, whatever you call it, because this will kill your fingernails. I had to use I just found like a little power plug thing. It obviously wasn't plugged into a power outlet, but I used that as a little tool to open this up. Now, what I did last night in the studio, and if you watch some of my videos from last night, you probably saw that I left this partially opened. And I did that on purpose to see when I was out in the field for the first day, would this pop open during flight? And it didn't. So that's my workaround for what I feel is a design flaw. So you can see in there, you can see your micro SD card, and you can see the USB-C port. But when I close this back, again, I'm not closing it all the way because I want to be able to open this in the studio and in the field as needed without having to use a tool. So that's area for improvement for sure. The overall design of the drone, one thing I really like is the gimbal guard. I mean, obviously there's no confusion with this. With the Mavic Pro, there was confusion. Should I fly with the gimbal protector? Should I not fly with the gimbal protector? It was a see-through plastic. It really confused people. And I've heard both sides of the fence on that. But obviously I field tested it with the Mavic Pro, and it degraded the video quality because there's a piece of plastic there. But with this is not to be flown. You know, this is to be removed before flight. This is only there to better protect the Mavic Air during transport. And, I really wish they had made this in a bright red or a bright yellow with some writing on it to say, please remove before flight. Or better yet, even incorporate some sort of mechanism here where if this is inserted, that it depresses a switch and disallows the drone from turning on. That would make it even better. But you can't have everything. What they did give us is a gimbal guard that goes easy on, easy off. And I really appreciate that. It's not super easy. You need to gently tilt your camera forward and then gently press this against the body. It's not perfect. And this has been a pain point for a lot of people. But see, once you get it, you'll feel it just goes right in, and once that front part's in, then that's ready to snap. It shouldn't fall off during transport. One thing they did well with the Mavic Air, and I flew 3 batteries today because I got the Fly More combo, so I flew all 3. This thing never seemed to get extremely hot. Even after the flight, even after flying, it was warm, but it never got extremely hot. The way that this folds is brilliant. Even if the Spark had 4K video, which it didn't, the Spark was not foldable. This is a foldable drone, and that means so much. So remember how I said it. When you're taking this thing out to fly, you do the left butt cheek and the right butt cheek, the rear of the drone. So the opposite side from where the camera is. But after you've flown, it won't be the rear first, it'll be the front. So the front where the camera is, I'm going to grab the front arm here, gently, grab the front arm there, and then what I'll do are these little landing gear feet. They just pop up. This has a very well made and very tactile feel to it. I like how everything just snaps together. And then you're going to do, since we're finished flying, then you'll do the rear of the drone, the side opposite the camera. Very compact form factor, super small, super lightweight, yet heavy enough to where it doesn't get tossed around in the wind. If you watch my field test videos, my first field test and my second field test, you'll probably notice there was wind speed of approximately 6.2, 6.4 knots. It handled well, even with the prop guards on. And what was cool, when I put the prop guards on, the software recognized that it was either carrying a payload or it had prop guards installed. So I thought that was neat. You know, just kind of a visual indication that you may experience degraded flight dynamics and or battery life. So I thought that was cool. They had that that built into the apps technology, which was super cool. But yeah, the design is nice, and I really love. I've got grass in the case here, but I really love this little case it came with, because it just, you just stick this thing in here with the propeller zone, which is nice. See how nicely that fits in there? And you zip it up and you've got something that, and I know you can't see my camera on the thing because it's filming us, but let's compare it to the iPhone 7 Plus, which is the big iPhone. Let's just see how the size-wise this compares. So to kind of just give you an idea of travel size and travel weight, that's an iPhone 7 Plus, the big iPhone, and that's the case. Obviously, the case is taller than the iPhone, but you know, the overall size, just to give you an idea here, this is how small this thing is. And something I'm going to work with when I'm not in dry filming environments, something I'm going to work with is identifying the perfect waterproof and ruggedized case to carry this drone around in. And I've already got an idea, and as soon as I get that, I'll be featuring it on epicdroneshow.com, because ultimately, yeah, this is super portable. Throw in a camera bag, no chances of rain, no need to swim to a filming destination, etc. This is perfect for that. It fits it like a glove. But I need to take it a step further and come up with a solution that'll allow me to put the controller, the prop guards, and various other accessories in a waterproof and ruggedized case. So that's something on the to-do list. As far as battery life today, I felt that the battery life was more than exceptional. And again, I'll have to look at the videos when I download them to see exactly how long this thing flew. But I had I had a little bit less than 100% on each battery when I started because of firmware updates that I had to new firmware updates I had to do while I was in the field. But the battery life I felt was exceptional. I did not feel like I did with the Spark, where I felt like I had to rush and film or rush and shoot photos and then land before the batteries got dangerously low. So there's plenty, for most filming purposes, there's plenty of battery life in my opinion, because most videos that I film are around 5 minutes in duration. So having what they quoted, I think, is around 21 minutes. Realistically, having over 16 minutes of solid battery life is more than enough time, in my opinion, to shoot and then maybe reshoot, or maybe even shoot a second video as well. That allows me to have, let's just say, let's lowball it, let's say 15 minutes. That's one 5-minute video clip. That's one reshoot of a 5-minute video clip if I mess up. And then that third 5-minute window is for whatever else I want to shoot, maybe another 5-minute video clip. So, or maybe factor that into going and coming from the filming location, because sometimes, you may have to fly out a little ways before you actually want to start filming what you want to capture on the drone's camera. So that's something I didn't do in the field today is sport mode, because as I mentioned, I've got 3 batteries, but I want to hit the stuff that interests me the most first. And a ton more videos are coming soon, but I wanted to hit the filming modes. I want to see how good the 4K video looks. I want to see the battery life, just the overall handling and flight dynamics of the drone. And there's really nothing negative that I can say right now. The only negative, as I mentioned, the extreme negative, is that door on the back of the drone. But as a workaround, again, I just partially close it and it latches in enough to where it's not, it never came open during my field test today, so, or transport to and from the field. So I think I found a workaround for a nuisance. You know, I wouldn't call that a problem. I'd call it a nuisance and an opportunity for DJI to redesign that. I don't know how, with all the attention to detail that they put into this drone, how something as simple as a door on the back could have been overlooked. I mean, one would think that there would be a quality control team that would go in and test all of this. And that would be the obvious thing. If you're going to fly a drone, well, you know, you got to make sure you got the SD card, micro SD card in it. And if you're going to look at the videos, well, you got to take that micro SD card out and, you know, and download the videos. So I don't know how that happened, but maybe they got really strong fingernails or something over there. I don't know. But yeah, that was a disappointment. The other thing that I'm not crazy about, oh, there's a spider on this, hold on. Whew, spider, it's gone. The other thing I'm not crazy about is how, and this was the case with the Mavic Pro controller, I like the small size and small travel weight of the controller, and I love how the sticks easily screw off the controller to make this flatter for travel. And it's got little grooves right there where you can store the sticks. But what I don't like is that this is still, I wish there was a better way to mount a smartphone, because if you're like most people, you've probably got your smartphone in a case, and in my situation, I've got it in a very slim case, and I can barely put it in here, but it doesn't fit it like a glove. I wish there was a better, you know, maybe some sort of, I don't know, something that would pop out, you know, those springy things that grip the side of a phone. Then that way, it wouldn't be sticking the phone's edges into this. It would just be something that would snap, you know, that would gently squeeze the edges of the phone, regardless of whether it had a case or not. I think that's an opportunity for improvement. But the controller itself, the tactile feel, having these spiky type things and then the rubbery pieces around the side, you really feel like you're using a very high-end video game controller when you're flying this. So, you know, they got the tactile feel right. They got there was no need to have a screen on the controller like they had on the Phantom, on the Mavic Pro. They eliminated that, and I think that's good. I mean, why put something on there that's not even necessary? So it's, yeah, it's, overall, my impressions, I will go as far as to say, and again, at the time of filming this, I'm still in the field from my first day in the field, so I'll know with certainty when I edit this video, or not this video, but all my other videos that I filmed in the field, to see what the video quality looks like. But if the video quality and video stability meets or exceeds the handling and just overall, you know, just good feel of the drone, I think we've really got a winner here. And lastly, one of the biggest concerns was this is not OcuSync. This is Wi-Fi. And anytime I see something that says like super enhanced or better refined, or in this case it was enhanced, I think it's the word they used, enhanced Wi-Fi. Anytime I see a word such as that describing something, it implies in my mind that it wasn't good enough, so they had to try to make it better. You know, kind of patched up solution. But to my surprise, when I took this thing out in the field, not once, not a single time, did I encounter any sort of degraded FPV quality. I could constantly see what the drone saw through my FPV, and it works. It's not OcuSync, but the enhanced Wi-Fi, whatever the enhancement was, they seem to have nailed that enhancement because it worked. So that was my biggest unknown. I'm like, man, you know, this thing looks so good. It's so small. It's so lightweight. It's what I've been begging for since the Phantom 1, you know, a smaller, a more lightweight drone. You know, part of the reason I was so irritated when we thought something new was coming, and it was the Inspire, because the Inspire is too big and it's too heavy. And I thought I was afraid that that was the direction that DJI was going to go. And ultimately, they can go in any direction they want to because they own the drone world. I mean, that's funny, DJI must have known I was talking negatively about their Inspire because my battery on my camera died, so I had to swap it out. But yeah, I was afraid that was the direction that DJI was going, was bigger, you know, heavier, more expensive drone. And ultimately, without any competition, DJI can do whatever they want to do. I mean, if people are buying and they're making money, they can do whatever they want to do. You know, even as consumers, if we don't like the product, if there's something they're selling and people are still buying it for whatever reason, they can continue to do that. So, you know, it was when DJI first unveiled the Mavic Pro, I got excited. Now, I didn't like the Mavic Pro because there was that annoying tap to focus video requirement. I couldn't get the video quality in 4K that I got with a Phantom 3 Pro or a Phantom 4. So for that reason, with the Mavic Pro version 1, and that would be platinum included, that, you know, I couldn't use it because video is my thing, and I could get better quality with a Phantom 3 Pro or a Phantom 4. So, you know, I still continued to use the bigger, the heavier drone just so I could get acceptable 4K video quality. But now, and again, I'm still in the field, but when I download this video, I'll know for sure. But now, if I can get video quality, if I can capture video quality in 4K 30 with the Mavic Air, that's as good or better than a Phantom 3 Pro or a Phantom 4, this is going to be my new go-to drone, because everything else for me is checked out. And again, it's a situation where after I use this for a while, there may be troubleshooting challenges that are encountered, and that's been the case with most DJI drones. Even though DJI are my favorite drones, there's always troubleshooting challenges. So, you know, after I use this for several hundred hours, I'll have a better feel. But my initial impressions are that if you're, you know, if you're on the fence and you don't know if you want to, if you want to buy a Mavic Air, I mean, wait and see the video quality that I achieve from the field to help you, and, you know, check out other videos from other reputable sources that have featured video. But see if the video quality is good enough for you, the video stability, and if it is, you'll probably find that you know, this is a rock solid drone, and you can find it in all the drones. Just go to epicdroneshow.com and go to store. So I've got everything listed there. But I mean, I'm super stoked, and again, just the first day in the field, I've got so much more coming. But in the spirit of Our Skies Adventure Channel, it's always the first thing I do is unbox the drone. I show what's in the box, I talk about it, and then I take it to the field without any form of bias. And then after that is when I take the drone and hopefully capture some very cool videos in 4K. So thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/IRIXSky. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IRIXSky here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.